What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Moneyline Madness episode. I am here today with my boys, CMO Sports and Andy B. Boys, what's happening? How are we feeling on this fine Monday we got going on here?
I'm feeling good, man. I can't complain. It's a great day to get after it.
Oh, yeah. It's a great day.
Yeah, post-Easter episode we got going on here. A lot of baseball, some NBA drama, crazy day in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Even some NFL news. Odell Beckham signing with the team finally. I know we've been saying for a few months now.
It feels like a year now. I think it's been a year.
It really has been about a year. SEMO with the silky. We need Andy B with a silky. We do need that.
Man, I think I'll stick with my backwards trucker hat for right now.
That's fantastic. But you guys already know what's going on. Another episode of Moneyline Madness. We're back. Feels good to be back. Feels like a minute since we've been talking. So we got a lot of things to discuss.
It's been a week.
Yeah, been a full week. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. It was before the Natty. Do we have any thoughts on that we wanted to, get out the way before we move on to this week?
College basketball is amazing. That's the only I love it.
Yeah, that was your outcome of that week.
That game,
really?
that game might have sucked, but I think everybody keep your eyes out because college basketball next year is going to be. I mean, from November, it's going to be a dogfight in every conference, and I can't wait. If I took one thing from this tournament, college basketball is as wide open as ever, and I love it. So that's my big March Madness takeaway this year.
Can I be the devil's advocate?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of mid.
You know what?
A bunch of mid teams playing each other at the end.
I get that point. You might want you want your blue bloods in it, right, Mo?
I need my blue chips in there somewhere, man.
That. And I think there's some that are being strengthened. I think there's going to be new ones that are born from all of this. But I think in the end, I still think the Kentuckys, the Villanovas, they're going to come out on top anyway. I think you're going to see that eventually. But I think the growth up to that is going to have some really interesting tournaments. I don't think we'll see another 9 seed make the Final Four. I think that's never going to happen again. But yeah, I think it's going to be wide open. I think it's going to be really cool. If you're a fan of a mid-major team, I think you're excited as well because you might have a shot at a good run. And I think that's cool.
I think I don't think we're ever going to see, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, another 3 out of the 4 being their first Final Four appearance.
You're not. You're going to see a Kansas, a Kentucky. Kentucky's going to have the best team in the nation next year. Their entire
going to be fucking good.
They got DJ Wagner coming in. They got an insane.
This is a great point. The Final Four had 2 NBA players in it. Like that was
Yeah, but also another thing to that, Kyle, is go look at college. I mean, go look at who the top 10 is going to be. Number 1 and 2 didn't go to college. You're not going to see the NBA the way they're doing it with the Ignite team.
There really isn't an incentive on why I should go.
Yeah. College isn't as popular as it once is. You're either going to like the fact that you're watching guys that might not play in the NBA very far, or you're going to not like it. And I get both point of views. I really do.
Okay. All right. Well, instead of talking about just the college basketball as a whole, let's narrow it down here. Women's college basketball. Now, let's get that out of the way. Our thoughts on that.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
That's going to be a growing.
Oh, well, I meant more of the drama, the whole Angel Reese scenario, all that type of stuff. We talked about it very briefly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you had any last second thoughts on that you wanted to get out of the way, or SEMO as well.
My thought is it's gonna grow the sport. I think it's gonna help. I don't know what.
I think it was entertaining. I think it was fun. I thought it was more fun than the men's tournament.
Oh, for sure.
For the first time ever in my life, saying some shit like that. The ending. Particularly, I'm not talking about the whole tournament, obviously, because I did not pay
middle of the tournament.
I didn't pay attention really until Iowa beat South Carolina. But Caitlin Clark is going to be an amazing addition to women's basketball. She is doing stuff that a woman has never done before in the game. She has that transition type of style that Steph Curry has that is going to transform the game. That's why I didn't mean to say transformation style type of game. No girl has done that before, and now girls are going to watch her for the rest of her career and try and emulate that game. As you can see, our younger generation right now is emulating Steph Curry, emulating LeBron, emulating that can fit anywhere type of play. You know, I think it's great for women's basketball. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark is going to be a rivalry that's going to last well over 10 to 15 years.
Oh yeah, they've had drama going on.
They've been beefing since she was at Maryland. And it's going to be good for the media. Women's basketball media is going to definitely improve, and there's going to be a lot more people watching WNBA games.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more coverage now. There's a lot more discussion, probably a lot more on social media now. Just being that there was that much drama, people are going to be they know that that's going to get clicks. You know, they're going to be posting a lot more about that. So I'm excited to give them more coverage. Andy?
Yeah, I actually think the WNBA kind of is not getting screwed. They've kind of put themselves in a crappy position where all these girls have to go back. Like, you can't leave early in women's basketball, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
you have to do 3 years or all 4 years?
All 4 years, I believe you have to do.
Really?
Yeah. You have to be 22 years old, so essentially the 4 years.
Yeah, and that's a lot on that's a lot on the coaches. They won't ever let it happen. We've talked about on this show how I feel about certain head coaches. They will never let their players leave early. I don't know how they ever got it in men's college basketball, because the coaches in men's college basketball are just as stubborn. But yeah, that'll never happen. Like, you're going all 4 years if you're a woman, and that's unfortunate. I don't really understand it. If you're the WNBA, you wanted Caitlin Clark this year. Like, you needed.
Oh yeah.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark would have been Larry Bird, Michael Magic Johnson going into the WNBA now. Like, that would have been a cool story. Instead, they're both coming back to schools that, frankly, they'll be right back where they were last year, and it really won't improve their stock at all, because they probably would have gone 1, 2, 3 in the WNBA draft this year. So it's a crappy rule, but it's the sport needed that. That sport's been kind of like teetering for years. I think it finally got its explosion, and I can't wait to cover it. I really can't.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun next year.
And also men's will too. So.
Yeah, men's is exciting next year, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to next year because of DJ Wagner, because of a couple players that I've been following for a while now. Bronny is going to be a freshman, or he's going to be
Bronny is going to be a freshman, and all signs point to him going to USC, so that's going to help the Pac-12.
Yeah,
nothing's going to beat Northeast hoops next year. I mean, St. John's, Seton Hall, those teams are back. Like, that's going to help a lot around here. So pretty much everywhere you can spot a really good college basketball team. So I think that'll help. It's going to be very
all right. Well, moving on from college, let's talk NBA play-in, because tomorrow night we've got some matchups going on. All right, let's talk about it, because the NBA play-in, I feel like what are your guys' thoughts on it overall? You don't like it?
No, I was in for it the first few years when it was like regrouping from COVID. Now I just think it's stupid.
Yeah? I don't know. I like the concept. I feel like it's executed poorly. I don't know how they could clean it up. I don't know. It feels like something's wrong.
There's too many teams in the play-in. I think it should only be 3 teams, and the 7 seed should get a bye, and the 8 and 9 play each other to play the 7th seed.
Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that for sure. I feel like that extra team.
A 10th seed is that's crazy, bro.
You're getting in as a 10 seed, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a waste of time at that point.
I feel like at the same time, the NBA wants that story of, oh my God, a 10 seed just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's never gonna
happen. I've heard that all over the place today. Can we be honest about what's gonna happen in the Eastern Conference? The winner of the 2 7 and 8 seeds are gonna get dick punched. They don't have a shot. So that's why I don't like
Miami can play a little something.
They're both.
I think they can get 1 game off on Boston.
But that's the thing. Was playing the play-in worth it to just see the team do what they were most likely going to do in the first place? Most likely the series is going to go.
I don't think that's fair, though. At the same time,
you're putting all these extra play-in teams in that don't have a shot. I think the advantage in baseball, adding teams, meant more teams could win the World Series because it's such a crapshoot. But it's not like that in the NBA. The top
should have. Honestly, now that I'm thinking more of it, they should have the 7th seed not in the play-in at all. They should be locked in with the 2 seed, and the 8 and 9 teams should be play a 1-game fucking playoff to play
the 1 seed, right?
Number 1 seed, and that's all you get.
Yeah,
because that's what they do in the fucking college. You get 1 game, bang, and that's it. You're in the tournament.
Yeah.
1-game series is electric. That's why everybody loves them.
8 versus 9 seed, straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
agree.
Kyle says it right there.
The Bulls this year. All right, the Bulls and Raptors. There's no need for those 2 teams to make the play.
Yeah, they're like,
At least
oh,
the Raptors
man,
are.
those are god awful basketball teams. If we're being truthful, like they were awful during the season, both of them. I mean, the Bulls were horrific for a lot of this NBA season. They just had a little late run where they snuck in there, but other than that, like the Raptors made no noise, and if anything, disappointed this season. So it's like, what are we really fighting for here anymore?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think the West is a little different, but that's just because that's how the cookie kind of crumbled. Like that's how it went. There was a lot of, dare I say, mid teams in the Western Conference. So
Okay, so Kyle says, hold up, let me get this straight. This man said he loves college basketball and March Madness.
that's different. No. That's completely different. The NBA, these are all pros. They're getting paid. They're getting money. In the NCAA tournament, I'm watching Bumblefuck Nowhere University facing Iowa or Purdue and these big schools, and that's cool for me. Like to see a bunch of nobodies like Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the underdog. In the NBA, these are all grown ass.
I don't have to see DeMar DeRozan chuck up 25 mid ranges in a loss in the play-in tournament.
That's a little like Kyle. I get what you mean, but it's a very different thing. When you're watching college basketball, you root for the underdog because they are the underdog. They're scrawny little kids. They didn't get their opportunity. These are all pros. These are all guys getting paid. And we love it. They're the best athletes in the world for a reason. Yeah. I personally love college basketball because I see those little teams and I root for them because that's the little guy and I love that. So
yeah. All right, so let's talk about. We were talking about the Eastern Conference with the Bulls and whatnot. Let's talk about the LA Fakers going up against the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves news. I mean, yeah, it's gonna have to be Anthony Edwards because Karl Anthony Towns, he doesn't really show up. Rudy Gobert, nowhere to be found now, not traveling with the team after his punch to the chest of Kyle Anderson.
What a weird day.
Yeah.
We should just recap the day yesterday in general. What a weird day in the NBA. I think we had Peyton Pritchard had a triple-double. Kenneth Lofton had 40
triple-double as well.
Yeah, Theo Pinson. And then you had teams fighting each other like
Yeah, no, that was the whole investigation going on with the Mavericks as well.
The Mavs,
it's pretty crazy. But overall, let's discuss that game because at this point, the Lakers, I guess, they're gonna get in. They're gonna.
Did that change it for you though?
That doesn't really move the meter for me. Gobert being out, I feel like the Wolves still could win with just Edwards and Cat.
And I honestly, I don't.
I hope so because
winning anyway, but I don't think it makes it any farther apart in my eyes. Like, if Edwards goes off, they've got a shot. If he doesn't, they don't.
Are we gonna get 0 dark 30 LeBron? Like, I don't think so. I think that ship has sailed, but I think Adam Silver is just gonna hand the Lakers, the next series at least. Like, yeah. I think the storyline's there. They want LeBron to at least get in the playoffs and have a series with this season that he's had, getting the all-time record and whatnot. So the line is now Lakers 7.5. Everyone's going to bet LA. Take the points if it gets up to 8.5, 9. People are overreacting. Well, Rudy Gobert isn't like a huge difference maker, but it's like the one area where the Lakers aren't great is at center, right? Like Anthony Davis doesn't want to play that big man. He just doesn't want. He wants to be a power forward. He doesn't want to play the center role or rim protect. So I thought Rudy Gobert might have a little bit of an advantage there. Maybe get a few more boards, but I don't know. I mean, it is Rudy Gobert. So at the end of the day, like he was already hurt, right? Like if I'm not mistaken, he was playing hurt, and that was part of the argument.
Yeah, he was playing.
It was so weird, but like, why are you putting your hands on another grown ass man on the bench in front of all these cameras? You knew what the consequences was to doing that. Like, I don't know. Like that was weird to me, man. You know what I mean? Rudy on some bullshit, if you ask me. Like, what kind of weird shit is that, bro? It's the last game of the season. You know you about to play a play-in game the next game. You gonna go here and punch on another teammate? On the bench, not in the locker room, on the bench.
Yeah, and it's not like he hit a guy. Somebody like is an asshole teammate that nobody likes. Like Kyle Anderson's a well-respected player in the league. Like people don't like. He's not a guy you should just be punching. And he didn't even say anything that
I think he is.
Yeah, and right here,
this comment says he was going to get the super
get
away with something like that, or
Yeah,
because he's not that guy.
Did you guys see Kevin Garnett's tweet about it, where he was like, "Oh, just a little something to bind up the locker room before we head into the playoffs."
Literally.
Like, bro, you're cooked, buddy. You're cooked at this point. Like, I do think that they could beat the Lakers, but how highly do we think of either of these teams? Because I don't think either of them make any noise in the Western Conference in the grand scheme of things, right?
I don't think the Timberwolves played their cards right with a young superstar, and I think I've been saying it for months. I think he's gonna be the first guy that's gonna be asking out of that organization. Like, that team is going to be in a dead end because of the trade they made this offseason. And I mean, I think that's part of Rudy Gobert's troubles. He's got a lot of pressure on him. He's the worst trade in NBA history. Like, there's no doubt. Nobody will dispute that was the worst trade. It made no sense at the time, and it makes no sense now. And it put the Timberwolves in a position where their future's bad, and now they're the 10, they're the 8 seed, right? So they're the 8 seed. We're all saying they're going to lose, so they're in a shit position regardless. So
and Kyle Anderson isn't a guy you should be punching. Also, but that implies that there are guys who you should be punching on. Now, who are those guys?
How are you going to punch Kyle Anderson out of all?
Let me give you a perfect example. Let me give you a perfect example. And I know it was not the same situation because it was at practice, but Draymond and Jordan Poole, that didn't surprise me, because both of those guys are very similar with their attitudes. They want to be the best. They're a little mouthy. I get how those guys could get in a fight. How does Kyle Anderson fire you up so much that in the middle of an arena of 12,000, 13,000 people, you're punching him in the face? I don't know how that happens. So
yeah, it's kind of awesome. But
is that true?
Overall, Dylan Brooks, I could maybe see. I mean, Dylan Brooks, let's talk about his hair. I mean, that was... If you saw the post I put on Facebook, that was disgusting. Like Max B. That was really bad. Like, somebody said Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like, it was, oh man. Like, he definitely has a punchable face, but like Grayson Allen, that's a little more punchable. That's a little more.
Grayson Allen's definitely a punchable face. He's been a punchable face since Duke.
I would say TJ McConnell. I don't know if that's just like.
I don't know. TJ McConnell, everybody loves him, but I get it. When your team's going up against TJ McConnell, you want to fight him.
Bro, TJ McConnell, like, you be up 15 points on like the Pacers or whoever, and TJ McConnell be trying his ass off, bro. He's trying his ass off.
I got a TJ story. So I went to the Knicks Sixers game in Philly in like 2018. I want to say 2019. Oh,
there was a TJ
and
McConnell
TJ McConnell hit the game-winning buzzer beater in Melo's fucking grill, bro. The Sixers fans harassed us all the way out of the fucking stadium. I wanted to fucking shoot somebody, but
I remember
that's
that.
TJ McConnell story for you. I want to punch him in the face.
I didn't know if that was maybe just me on a Knicks like vendetta because I agree in the back of my head, but he's punchable, bro.
Yeah, the only NBA game I ever went to, TJ McConnell came in. It was a 30-point game, and I just see this little white guy going up trying his ass off. I'm like, who is this guy?
Bro, hustling. Like, he's like the Brandon Nimmo of the NBA.
Perfect.
Right?
That's
like
perfect. Yeah.
He would hustle.
Ron Baker always had a punchable face.
Ron Baker did, but he was.
I wanted to punch
Ron Baker. Was that guy in college, though?
At Wichita, dude. Ron Baker.
He was that guy at Wichita State. But
Anthony Early and Ron Baker. Let's go.
And Fred VanVleet on that same squad. Oh, yeah. Georges Niang is definitely punchable.
I don't know if I've ever thought.
Ben Simmons, I think now. Like, anytime Ben Simmons is on the screen, I'm like, I would fuck that guy up.
I could see that.
I don't I just hate Ben. Like, does anybody like Ben Simmons anymore? I don't know if that's him being naturally punchable, but he's just made him punchable. Eric Gordon?
I don't know about Eric Gordon. If any guy who can get on like a rampage from 3, that guy's usually a punchable guy because there's nothing you can do. Like, as a fan, you just want to come through the TV and punch him in the face.
I probably would punch Pat Bev in the face if I played.
I like Pat Bev.
If I played against him, he would get me to that.
For sure.
Yeah. Pat Bev.
There's been times I've wanted to punch Curry because of how well he played. No doubt.
Oh, I've always loved. Like, I don't know.
Last year.
I don't know. Star players aren't as punchable. Like, these are guys that just have no right to get under your skin. You know, like, there's no reason that TJ McConnell should like be in the back of my head.
Sounds like you guys have some thoughts about TJ.
Like, he's just rent free. You know, like
Syracuse legend. I want to say he went to Syracuse.
Every time I bet against the Sixers, Niang decides to be Peja Stojakovic. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, I don't know. I don't bet Sixers, bro. That's one thing I would never do is the Philadelphia 76ers right now. With the way that team is, everybody aside from Embiid, man, I don't know. And what do you guys think? Is he this year's MVP? Like, are we going to finally give it to him?
Yes, they're going to give it to him.
You think they're going to give it to him?
Yeah.
I sadly think they do, but I think it should be Giannis.
I think it should be Giannis too, but I don't know. What is the odds on it? Who's the biggest favorite? Embiid?
Yeah, he's a pretty heavy favorite right now. I think Kyle
Did
probably.
you see what Jalen Rose said yesterday?
NBA always doesn't like to give it to like a certain player too many years in a row. They're not going to give it to Jokic this year. They already gave it to Giannis twice. So they're like, all right, fuck it. We'll finally give you fucking MVP so you can stop fucking crying.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah, Jalen Rose said yesterday on their NBA countdown thing, he said he was voting Giannis unless something drastic happened and on the last day of the season. Oh, because we didn't play 81 games before that. Yeah. And then today he went on and said he was voting for Embiid.
Bucks without Giannis still win 50 games. I don't know though, because Chris Middleton's kind of been sketched this season, bro. Chris Middleton's still been super sketched.
What are the Sixers without Embiid? Are they?
Sneaky.
Are they one of the like?
They're terrible.
They're not.
I don't think they're good now. That's the thing.
Like, yeah, they're not good enough. They're the 3 seed now. What are they without them? The 6 seed?
Not.
I truthfully like they might be a 3 seed, but in my head they're like a 4 or 5 seed.
In my head, you could have told me the standings. I would have told you they were a 5 or a 4 or 5 or 6. I would not have thought they were a 3 seed. But hey,
Sixers without Embiid are about 500. I mean, I guess because you could have
so
hard
games. You can play that game all you want. Anybody's best player off their team, they're going to be a much worse team, right? Like, who
yeah,
can
I mean, the
best
Knicks
player off
Knicks
of
are still pretty great.
Well, the Knicks' best player isn't marginally better than everybody else on the team. That's why. Like,
yeah, that's fair. And
I don't know. I know I haven't been on in a while. It's been a while. We haven't talked about Jaylen Brown. I'm getting really scared now. Like, from all I've seen the past few weeks, that guy's gone. Like,
is he a Knick? Is Jaylen Brown already wearing?
I love Jaylen Brown at
New
this
York
point because of his lack of commitment. Send him anywhere.
Will the Celtics actually trade to the Knicks though?
No, I don't. I think they'd go to somewhere else first.
And that's the problem.
Bro, I got RJ Barrett and 2 first-round picks. Right
29 teams are going to
let me know.
That's not going to do the job.
It won't, but
at all. I promise.
I mean, I don't know about at all, but we can
have to act quickly in that bitch.
The only way that'll feel
the Knicks
is if they win the ring
quickly. They would give up maybe Obi or Grimes, but quickly isn't going anywhere. I don't think they'd sell at his like absolute pinnacle right now. I don't know. That's why Jokic keeps getting
first. Jaylen Brown, you wouldn't do that?
Yeah, you do, but
if I'm
hey.
I don't think that's
first for Jaylen Brown is a fucking come up.
I gotta go one for you.
I don't care what.
Send him home, man. Send him to Georgia. Send him to Atlanta. Give me Trae Young. I'll take a point guard like that with Marcus Smart. That'd be my backcourt. I like that.
That's nasty.
I don't hate that.
You want Trae Young after all his drama that he's going through right now with another guard like that? Like,
you tried to tell us that he was coming to the Knicks. And
I mean, I'm putting it into my head. That's what Matt told me he would have accepted that. I think Knicks fans would deep down they'd accept.
I was reading Kyle's comment. What would we accept?
Trae Young.
You said you would take Trae Young on the Knicks.
Oh, for maybe a bag of peanuts, but I'm not giving them like they would want a lot. That's the thing. Like especially the Knicks tax is so legitimate that like that's why
I don't even fit on the Knicks though. Like
he would fit probably.
He wouldn't.
But I mean, if you're the Knicks, you're waiting on
no defense.
If you're waiting on a star, you're waiting on Luka at this point because you have no reason to make an impulse decision. Right?
Yeah, no, you're chilling.
So but if you're the Celtics, get rid of Jaylen Brown. That's not an impulse decision. You have to do it. So.
No,
Mavs
I agree.
To the Knicks.
What happened?
I promise you they're not.
Who? Luka? Is that who you're talking about?
Not trading. No, hell no, they're not.
I mean,
after all the shit that we just went through,
that's
people with them.
People don't want the Knicks to be good.
I don't even think it's that. I think any other team would trade him to the Knicks. I just think the Mavs and Knicks now have a bad.
They have bad blood with each other. Yes.
What a weird situation.
Like with each other.
Mark Cuban played this out really badly.
Yeah, I don't know if he can you hate on the Knicks when it's just you who fumbled the bag?
Yeah, you made the mistake, and now you're mad that they had his dad works for them or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Like,
Rick Brunson's he's on Nick's payroll. Facts.
all right, that's great. They still paid him more than you. Like,
But
you didn't offer
Mark
him
Cuban
that.
at the end of the day prompted that investigation against the Knicks,
And now he's being investigated. So, like, that's how it goes.
And now we, in turn, made sure they got investigated over the tanking.
And they
now
deserve
they're
it
gonna lose pick over
They
that,
they
you know?
very clearly tanked. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
They
that was
clearly
disgusting.
didn't win
They
this
very
weekend.
clearly did, for sure.
we knew they didn't
Yeah.
want to, and I think it was a smart play, but it looked bad.
I did, but they made it hot. They made it super hot.
Yeah,
They-
you can't do that.
First of all, you don't let Luka play for 1 quarter and then pull him.
That's why it's
That's what made it crazy.
Tell
right
me
then
who's
and there.
hurt, and I'll believe you. Whatever, fine, it happens.
Have
But
him
if you
limp
play him
off a
for a
little
quarter-
bit. Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even try to hide it. That was
And
really
Luka
the crazy
even
part.
admitted it.
I'd
He's
rather
like,
you
that
just
was the
bench
strat, like-
everybody than fucking do all that, you know?
No, I get it. I get it for sure.
Weird.
But all right, so we talked about tomorrow's games, but there's also Wednesday night, Thunder and Pelicans. How about the OKC Thunder making a little noise? You know, I guess you could say there's a rumble with the Thunder. I don't know.
I mean, they're the one
They have
team that's
plenty of
constantly
picks,
waiting in
so
the
they can
wings
like
next
be
year.
good without
Yeah, I don't know. What should we expect from either of these teams? Because I feel like they could be a wild card to like not the
They
Thunder as much, but the Pelicans against like a really bad team. Or no, they're 9-10. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, if the
gotta
Pelicans win, they get a shot to beat whoever loses the other one.
Yeah.
You're gonna get if you're the Timberwolves, you're gonna get Gobert back. They don't have Zion. The rebounding might be a little. Although Jonas Valanciunas.
Whoa.
Yeah. Jonas Valanciunas is there. I think the Pelicans could hold their own against either of those teams.
Yeah,
But
Valanciunas is a
obviously, you
dog.
have to get through OKC first.
If the
And
game is in OKC, I can maybe get behind it, but the Pelicans are nice, and that's a fact. The Pelicans at home in the Smoothie King Center are crazy,
I
but
like the
anywhere else,
Pelicans. Even without Zion, I still think they're better than OKC, and I
Oh,
feel like they could
you
beat
brought up the
the
name.
winner out of the Lakers T-Wolves. They could definitely beat them. Obviously, they would get cooked by the 2 seed, but
yeah, fair.
or the I
They'd be
forget
the
what-
8th seed, right?
Yeah, they'd be the number 1 seed. Who's the number 1 seed? The Nuggets,
Nuggets, facts.
Nuggets and Grizzlies play those teams.
Nuggets and Grizzlies. I mean, shit, man. They just lost Sam.
I
Didn't
wanna-
they lose Adams for the
The
year?
Grizzlies are definitely vulnerable. That's what I think,
Yeah.
honestly. Is
Yeah.
that just like the Grizzlies are a 2 seed, but in my head, man, like
Tough
You
2
could-
seed.
yeah,
It's a tough sell as a 2 seed.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went into that Lakers series and you're seeing numbers that you might not usually
Western-
see at 7.
Yeah,
That
the
is
Western Conference is going to be interesting.
Mm.
That's wide open as well. This is the first time where I'm really like, yo, there's no real clear cut favorite to win
Well,
the championship.
Another thing
Other
is
than the Bucks, I guess, but like, other than the Bucks, I would really say this whole shit is wide open.
Yeah.
in the West, the 3-6 matchup, you kind of know it's going to the 6, most likely. Like,
Yeah, which is
that's
crazy.
very
right? Like,
rare.
I think the Kings are plus 285
Yeah.
to win
I
the
mean,
first game. Like,
And like, does that surprise you? No, they're probably going to lose that series in 5 or 6 games. It's understandable. I think the Warriors are probably going to
Warriors,
win
right?
their next series too. Like,
yeah, the Warriors. Yep. I think
Boys
Phoenix with
cooked.
Durant is the best team, or is the team to beat in the West. Yeah. I mean, they still
I
haven't
don't know,
lost.
it's
They're-
some weak teams though.
Yeah, and
I mean,
playoffs, like we'll
has a
see
lot.
how that depth of Phoenix like impacts them. They had to get
Yeah.
rid of a lot of their like depth guys in order to get Kevin Durant. Let's see how in a 7-game series where there's a lot of physicality, let's see how that could turn out. But Andy,
my bad.
go
I
ahead.
do like the Suns in the West big time.
Yeah.
no, I agree, but
That
I wouldn't
starting
say
lineup is
I wouldn't say
crazy.
favorite.
It's crazy.
I
It's
wouldn't
crazy,
say
and I
that.
don't think
Every year-
they get off the bench. I don't even think they sit the bench that long in any game at all. Even though they're older, they're still going to play most of those
Mhm.
minutes, in my opinion. So
You know what I do before every playoff? I kind of think in my head, which team could I see holding up their respective conference championship trophy? Right? Like, what team could I see them handing that trophy to? In my head, like, I don't see the Nuggets being the team that hold it. Like, the Suns are always the team in my head. Like right now, Suns or Warriors are the teams that I've thought like that team's holding it up. Like, and obviously the Bucks and Celtics on the other side. So
also,
I was gonna say, how do you feel about the Celtics?
I think, look, you have to feel good coming in. You won 57 games. Like, it's not like it was a bad regular season. But I think as long as they get the right draw, and I think the right draw would be Miami, I'd prefer to face Miami. Obviously, we beat them last year, and I think they're as old as time right now. So I really don't. They don't strike any fear at me. You beat whoever you play early, quickly, and I think anything can happen. I love playing Philly in the second round too. We own them. So
let me
all
add.
about beating Milwaukee.
I heard a rumor that Durant wants Melo on the Suns for the playoff run.
I'll never understand.
Get those
Why
two.
would you just want
Get
somebody
Melo off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Then you
go-to
got Chris
bucket.
Paul. Everybody gets their ring. You know.
I like that. I like the idea of that. I could get behind it.
Kyle
says-
said something before.
I'm rooting for
They
him if
actually
do it.
signed Tristan Thompson, the Lakers.
They did. They
That's
signed
an
Tristan
attempt at a ring
Kardashian.
chase. That's not going to work.
Yeah. The Bulls are going to the playoffs from the 10 spot. They're going to go into Toronto and knock off the Raps. Then they're going to go into Atlanta and knock the Hawks off. Then they'll get swept by Milwaukee. I could totally see that. I could totally see a Zach LaVine like 40 bomb in the play-in against a bad defense, and then all of a sudden you got to go against Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton. And you get absolutely, handed to you. So
I think the Celtics and Bucks are going to combine for 8-0 in the first round. And I don't think that surprises anybody. That's how the 1 and 2 seeds is supposed to do that. So
yeah, that is true. That is very true. All right, anything else you guys want to add in? Talking NBA.
we're going to have a lot tomorrow too. So
Yeah, we're going to be able to talk a lot more in depth as we get a little closer. We get some starting lineups. We'll get some matchup analysis, all of that stuff. Let's talk a little baseball real quick before we head out here. How do you guys feel about the Mets' start to this season?
It's
Meh.
because we're hurt and
I think it gets to get picked up today, though. I think a big series starts today. So.
The season starts today. Is what I'm hearing.
5-5, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
no
the
ground has been made up.
Yeah, the thing is, like, baseball is such a
We're
marathon, not a
Yeah.
sprint. Like, it's I don't know. There's nothing to really talk about right now because you have no idea. It's not even going to be the same team come October, right? So it's like, what are we doing? Putting a deep analysis into a team that's not going to be nearly constructed in the same type of way come real baseball time. So
One thing I will say that it is very evident that they're gonna miss Edwin Diaz this year. Late in games, you can see last year you could see it. It was an 8-inning game. Like they could play the 7th and 8th inning. They could pitch whoever they wanted as long as it wasn't Edwin Diaz. They were gonna win the game. That has not been the case this year, and it's gotten very close. So that's the one takeaway that you can't change that. That's very evident.
Kyle says, I don't know if Boston can sweep Miami. Jimmy is a bucket in the playoffs. I could see Jimmy getting one game.
Yeah, I'm fair, but I still think they will. But obviously I could see them doing it.
He could have one Jimmy
He will
buckets
not
game, but otherwise he's going to be tired trying to do all of it by himself because Bam Adebayo's been literally just a bump on a log the past 2 months. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But the Yankees have been solid. Not really much to say about them. We've seen Johnny Brito step up. We've seen Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton are, playing the way they should. It's nice to see Aaron Judge come out and play well because if he had a bad start, they could easily just rip him considering you just got the payday of a lifetime. You're the MVP. And if you came out, cold in New York, they're going to give you some flack for it. So it's nice to see he's still solid. Yeah. Volpe, his offense is not great, but that's kind of not what you're concerned about with him, essentially. When he's on base, he's swiping bags, pretty much won a game at this rate. But his contact is really what we're looking for, just him seeing the ball on a major league level. We definitely are going to need him to get in some type of offensive groove if we want him in the starting lineup every day come playoff time. But other than that, there's not much to say. Like we say, it's a marathon, not a sprint with the baseball. So
Yep. We'll start to see toward May. It'll start to pick up. You'll be able to kind of spot out what players are going to have good seasons and what players aren't.
What I do like start of is Pete Alonso.
Yes.
Yeah, Pete Alonso's playing really good.
Yeah, he's
got
5 already.
The power surge of a 60 home run hitter has started. Obviously, it could fade, but every game it starts to feel like he's going to hit one.
He's hitting enough home runs to make up for Francisco Lindor right now.
Lindor has looked rough, and he said that yesterday in his press conference. He was like, "We're 5-5, and 85% of us have not played well." And he's right. The Mets have played very poorly. They're not hitting. They're not doing anything.
But you're
look
500, like you
fine.
said. So,
Oh.
better days are definitely
Now,
ahead.
if you look up Thursday and you're 5-8 because the Padres whipped you, you're gonna look a little. It's gonna feel a little different. But it's early. They're gonna get Verlander back.
The Brewers
They
did us
have two
bad.
aces now, so
Yeah, no, I get it. And the
But
Brewers, the Brewers didn't do too hot either. They, they flubbed the series, and then they came in and had a bounce back against the Mets. But aside from that, I mean, they're hoping for a resurgent Yelich season, and then you look
dude,
over the
he's so
Phillies
tough
are.
to watch, man.
He is really
It
bad.
makes me actually sad to watch him play baseball now.
It actually is. It's depressing. I've never seen a guy fall off so hard, so fast.
Unexplained fall off. Just his
Yeah, and
back.
then you look over Philadelphia Phillies. They have no pitching anywhere, bro. Nowhere to be found.
Taiwan Walker, what happened? Oh,
A lot of chirping out in Philadelphia right
Yeah.
now. A lot of crickets.
Yeah, well, no, they're chanting for the Eagles. That's the thing. That's what they're rooting for right now. They got to go those lengths. But yeah, that's really all that's happening in baseball. You guys got anything else that you want to add in for today?
That's good, man.
Yeah. All right.
Good,
We will catch you guys tomorrow night. Back, obviously, Mo Sports TV live, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys drop a follow, drop a subscription on all platforms. Make sure you're tapped in with the boys for whenever we go live. We appreciate all the support. Kyle, thank you for coming in and chatting with us a little bit today. And yeah, that's going to do it. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.